The eyes of the rugby world fell on the PWR this week as Christmas came early for the league, with Bristol Bears announcing the signing of global superstar Ilona Maher. And across the country, there was plenty of round 9 action to keep us entertained. Storm Dower did have something to say about how the weekend unfolded. Table toppers Exeter were denied the chance to make it 8 wins from 8 as their clash with the Bears at Ashton Gate was postponed. But elsewhere, after 3 losses on the bounce, Trailfinders were hoping to make the most of home comforts as they took on bottom side Sale Sharks. Would Lightning strike in Northampton? As Loughborough face reigning champions Gloucester Hartpury. But first, Saracens travelled north after returning to winning ways in round 8. They faced a Leicester side, spurred on by their first win of the season last time out against the Sharks. The bad weather made life tough across the country, including at Mattioli Wood's Welford Road, but it didn't take Saracens long to get used to the conditions. They took the lead just moments into the match. They patiently recycled the ball close to the Leicester line, and eventually it was Kelsey Clifford who made the decisive burst. An early setback for the home side, and with just 4 minutes played in the East Midlands, Saracens extended their lead to 12 points. On her first start for the club, Fancy Bermudez played a part in try number 2, providing the offload to fullback Lottie Sharp, who still had plenty to do before crossing the line. Saracens were looking more and more confident as the game unfolded, and they scored again after 12 minutes. Canada's Gabby Sense surprised the Tigers with a quickly taken penalty, and there was no stopping her. So a bad start for the home side, and their problems increased midway through the half. This tackle from number 8 Talia Brodie on Marley Packer was deemed high and dangerous, and she was sent off by referee Alex Thomas. Another blow for Tigers. They'd have to play for more than an hour with 14. And the red card was soon followed by a bonus point try for Saracens. The rolling ball was just too powerful for Tigers, and Akina Gondwe was the player who had her hands on the ball as they made their way over the line. Saracens with a 26-point lead at the break, and they scored again 6 minutes into the second half. More quick thinking, allowing them to put Tigers on the back foot, and Sydney Gregson provided the finishing touch. Marley Packer had been involved in the build-up to that try, and she was a central figure again in Saracens' 6th. Her pass found Gregson, and the Red Roses centre scored again. Leicester finally got points on the board with just under an hour played, and the try owed much to the perseverance of Julia Omakwale. Her charge down allowed Leah Bartlett to pick up the loose ball and drive over the line. It was the final try of the afternoon, as the match finished Leicester Tigers 5, Saracens 38. To a wet and windy West London next, where Trailfinders were hoping to end a run of 3 successive defeats as they took on the league's bottom side Sale Sharks. The home team took the lead while everyone was still getting used to the conditions. The rain providing a big challenge for the TV cameras as Abby Burton crossed the line with just 6 minutes on the clock. Trailfinders were playing with the wind at their backs in the opening half, and they were doing their best to make the advantage count. With just over half an hour played, a quickly taken penalty set up the chance for Burton to dot down again to make it 14 points to 0. It was proving tough for Sale, who've yet to taste victory in the league this season, but they were defending pretty well, and on a rare trip into opposition territory, they found a way back into the match. After a spell of pressure close to the line, the ball was eventually worked out to the left, and the try was claimed by Eva Wood. Sharks celebrated and sensed a possible revival. But just before half-time, a vital moment for the home side, and it came from a Sale line-out which was stolen by Olivia Leatherman. She made good progress towards the try line, and a couple of phases later, The ball made its way to Emma Taylor. That try and 3 first-half conversions from Taylor made the score 21-5 at the break. And a terrific try early in the second half seemed to settle the outcome of the match. Fullback Chloe Rolly made the break and picked the perfect moment to feed try-scorer Abby Dow. Trailfinders had wrapped up the bonus point. And with the weather getting worse and worse, Trailfinders scored once more. And it was a moment to remember for Abby Burton, as she completed a hat-trick to round off her team's 3rd league win of the season. It finished Trailfinders 31, Sale Sharks 5. Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens is our final destination for a match between 2 teams hoping for a change of fortune. The defending champions Gloucester Hartpury were beaten by Bristol in round 8 and began the weekend outside the top 4. So it was a confidence booster when Neve Jones gave them the lead after 4 minutes. Lightning had lost 3 of their previous 4 games and they fell further behind in this one midway through the first half. A quick tap penalty from Mo Hunt, who gave the ball to Maud Muir, and from there the outcome was inevitable. 12 points the lead at half-time, and early in the second half, Gloucester Hartpury came up with a terrific 3rd try to extend their advantage. Some slick passing saw the ball move quickly out to the right, and Nell Metcalf went over in the corner. The away side were looking increasingly confident, and they claimed the bonus point after 55 minutes. Mo Hunt was involved 3 times in the move, and she certainly deserved to be the try scorer at the end of it. A simple finish, but the hard work had already been done. And with 16 minutes left, Gloucester Hartpury scored again. Replacement Cecilia Tuapolotu adding her name to the scorers with a burst over the line from close range. The gap between the sides was now 31 points. But in the closing minutes of the game, with the visitors Sarah Beckett in the sin bin, Loughborough were at last able to apply some pressure and they got their reward. Gloucester Hartpury were clearly desperate to end the match without conceding a point, and they frustrated Lightning for a while. But when the ball was spread wide, Leah Green couldn't be stopped. Lightning had their try, but this was an important win on the road for the Circus. Loughborough Lightning 7, Gloucester Hartpury 31. So that result meant a 4th defeat in 5 for Lightning on a weekend of rugby affected by the weather. The game between Bristol and Exeter was postponed, and there were tough conditions elsewhere as Trailfinders beat Sale and Saracens won at Leicester. A frustrating weekend for the league leaders then, and Saracens took advantage, reducing the gap at the top to just 2 points. A bye week for 3rd-placed Harlequins, and Gloucester Hartpury are back in the top 4. We move on to round 10 next, with 3 games on Saturday. Trailfinders are at home to the league leaders Exeter Chiefs. Gloucester Hartpury meet Saracens in a blockbuster at Kingsholm, and Loughborough play host to Harlequins in a match you can see live on TNT Sports. Then on Sunday, Bristol Bears take on Sale Sharks. And of course, we'll be back with all the highlights from Premiership Women's Rugby.